Hello and welcome back to Football Manager 2019 with Burton Albion. We are into the 2022-2023 season. We are still in the Championship. As you can see, this is how last season finished up. We finished 8th place. 2 places outside the playoffs, Sheffield Wednesday, Norwich and Ipswich go up into the Premier League. We have already played some games because we're in August. And I know what you might be thinking. Why have you already played some games and you're only just in August? It's the World Cup in 2022 in Qatar, so no games will take place in, I think, November and the start of December. It's really weird. We were playing friendlies after games in the league, and I don't know why. It's probably kind of affected the start of our season. Anyway, before we talk about the matches that we have played, transfers have taken place. At this current point in time, just 4 players have left the club. Jamal Hector Ingram is the first to leave. He's gone to Bristol Rovers for £94,000. He was not good enough for us. I don't really know why we bought him. He played 1 game and was pretty bad in it. Another player to leave is Irish winger Trevor Clark. You're probably not surprised if you watched last season. He couldn't really break into the team because he doesn't fit the formation that we play. I played him, he played 30 games, which is a lot of games to play in one season, but the majority of them were kind of played out of position or at left back, something like that, which isn't a position that he's very good at. He's gone to Birmingham. I think it's £750,000 potentially. There is also a 50% sell-on in there, so if he suddenly becomes good at Birmingham and gets sold, we might get some more money off him as well. 2 loan signings have also happened. Jacob Maddox has gone on loan to Partick Thistle until the end of the season. And Tyler Walker, after scoring 3 goals in 15 games for Port Vale, has gone on loan to Mansfield. Hopefully he's going to do some business there. He is transfer listed, but nobody wants to pay any money for Tyler Walker. Apart from apparently me, because I'm an idiot. Players to join the club then. This is a transfer that I mentioned a couple of episodes ago. It is Jake Vokins, the Southampton left-back, has extended his loan deal for another year, which is very good because we don't have any other left-backs now. Along with Jake Vokins, Josh Okocha has also extended his loan deal. He only played 4 games last season, but we've brought him in again because I kind of thought we still need more defenders. We haven't really bought many defenders, so I've decided to loan in the majority of our back 4 once again. Another player to extend his loan deal for another season is Mark Gouy, the Ivorian central defender, 22 years old now, on loan from Chelsea. 3.5-star current ability, 4.5-star potential ability. He had a very good season with us last season. Hopefully he can do the same again. Another player to join on loan from Chelsea is 19-year-old English central defender Addy Stevenson, or AD Stevenson. He is pretty good at football, although he does like to make mistakes. You can see there, he's played 5 games for us. He's got an assist, a man of the match, and his average rating is a 6.48. He's not doing so well at the moment. He's on the verge of being dropped already. I'm tempted to just cancel his loan deal. That's how much he's annoying me at the moment. On loan from Tottenham Hotspur is 21-year-old English central midfielder Oliver Skipp. He is going to be very useful for us because he can play deep-lying playmaker and a segundo volante role quite well. So that is why I've brought him in. He's here for the entire season. We're not paying him any money at all, and he's only on a rotation deal as well. Next up through the door is Curtis Anderson, the 21-year-old English goalkeeper on loan from Manchester City. He has come in for the season, 3.5-star current ability, 5-star potential. I don't really trust Simon Moore, although Anderson's played 1 game and conceded 3, so maybe I shouldn't be trusting Curtis Anderson either. The final loanee to join us this season is Swansea striker Neil Williams. He spent last season out on loan at Crewe, scoring 8 in 15. He's 19 years old. He's got 1 cap for Wales, which is probably more than he should really have at this point in time. He's not the best at finishing, only 11 finishing, but he's got 3-star current ability, 5-star potential. We are paying some of his wages because no decent strikers would join us. I was desperately trying to get Michael Obafemi. Southampton wouldn't let him go. In fact, Southampton are actually playing Michael Obafemi now, which is kind of annoying. I would have preferred Southampton to get promoted, because then Obafemi probably wouldn't get a look in. Unfortunately, because they're still in the Championship, he is starting. So Neil Williams is going to hopefully be our goal-scoring threat for the season. The first of 5 free transfer signings is Brandon Aviero, who has signed for free from Crystal Palace. He's going to sit in our newly founded under-23s team. I don't know why we've just randomly been given an under-23s team, but we have, and it's useful because it means a lot of the fringe players can now drop down there and actually play football fairly regularly. He's probably not going to do too well. He is wanted, so he might go out on loan somewhere. Kidderminster want him, so yeah, he might be out on loan to Kidderminster by the time you next see him. Another youngster to join is Kane Hutton. He is an 18-year-old central defender / central midfielder signed from Manchester City on a free transfer. He's got a fair bit of potential, but his current ability is not great at the moment. Just the 2-star. He is wanted as well. Hopefully that is also on loan. It is Kidderminster, Wrexham and Harrogate, so one of those 3 might pick him up for the season as well. Moving on to players now that are actually probably going to get some football. First up is Ashley Eastham, who starts the game off at Fleetwood, recently been at Bradford City as well. He's a 31-year-old English central defender, 2.5-star current ability. I brought him in because he's not terrible at football. He's an old head as well. He's got some experience, so I'm hoping that he's actually going to be quite a useful player to just have in and around the locker room, you know, for the dynamics and stuff. Next up, still on a free transfer, is Samuel Shashua, signed from Tottenham Hotspur. I believe he starts the game possibly at Bolton, maybe? No, he doesn't. He starts at Tottenham. He was on loan at Bolton. He's also spent some time out on loan in Spain as well. He's not actually played any games for Tottenham at all. He's played 27 for Bolton a few years ago. But yep, Samuel Shashua is in. Free transfer, 2.5-star current ability, 4-star potential. I like the look of Samuel Shashoa. He's quite versatile as well, so if we need to, we can possibly play him as a striker. Probably one of my favourite signings so far. 22-year-old Portuguese midfielder Afonso Sousa has signed from Porto on a free transfer, and we have smashed our £8,000 a week wage, sort of minimum wage limit for foreign players, so he has managed to join the club. A free transfer from Porto, 3.5-star current ability, 4.5-star potential ability. He looks very good. He's still young as well. He's worth £4 million. I'm not expecting us to keep hold of Afonso Sousa for too long. If we get a season or 2 out of him, that'll be quite good. And the final player to join the club currently is Jonas David, a 22-year-old German ball-winning midfielder. He's a defensive midfielder by nature. He can also play as a central midfielder. He has signed for £1.2 million because I spoke to the board and said, buy me this player, and they went, okay, we'll do that. So yeah, they've signed Jonas David for me. I don't know anything about his contract or anything like that. He's on £9,750 a week, which seems quite a lot, but he's a good little option as that defensive midfielder. I like the fact that we've now got 2 non-UK based non-UK players in our squad as well. We have made another signing, but he's not going to join until I think December for reasons. I don't know why. He's just not going to join until December. So that is our transfer business so far. The window, I believe, is still open until September, so there is still a good month to go of the window. More players will be joining. I have offered a contract to somebody else as well who will hopefully sign that. We are struggling financially. And by struggling financially, not overall balance, wage budget. We are massively, massively over our wage budget. I keep trying to get the board to give me some more money. They're just not doing it. All I want is more wage budget, so that isn't red. That's all I'm after, but we're not allowed to do it. Anyway, let's talk about the matches that we have played so far. The first game of the season was away against Wolverhampton Wanderers, and it didn't start very well. A 4-1 defeat. Marcus Tavernier with 2 goals. Morgan Gibbs-White with a goal. Patrick Bamford also with a goal for Wolves. Gibbs-White also scores an own goal for us, but it doesn't really matter. We got absolutely battered in this game. We've not had the easiest teams to start this season with, which is why we haven't started the season very well. A.D. Stevenson, on his debut, gets a 5.9. This is why I'm not happy with him. That was his debut. Next up was recently relegated Cardiff, and it was a 1-0 defeat. Joe Lolly with the only goal of the game, the former Nottingham Forest midfielder, gives Cardiff the 3 points. But looking at the match stats, we were the better side. We just could not score a goal to save our life. 21 shots, 12 on target, not a single goal to show for it. We then picked up our first points of the season against Charlton. It was a 0-0 draw. Not really a huge amount we can say about this. Lots of rotation has taken place early on in the season because we've still been playing random pre-season friendlies despite the fact the season has started. I don't know why. I don't know why the board didn't bother changing it. I don't know why I didn't bother changing it. Anyway, doesn't matter. 0-0 draw, probably a fair result. Our first win of the season comes at the hands of my former team, Southampton, and we probably didn't deserve to win this. 15 shots to our 6, but it was a 2-1 victory in favour of the Brewers. Neil Williams gets his first goal for the club. Samuel Shashoa also gets his first goal for the club after coming off the bench. Giannis Haji scores a goal for Southampton early on in the second half, but we managed to hold on for a 2-1 victory and our first 3 points of the season. And the final match was up against Watford, and as you can see, we got destroyed. 3-0 it was to Watford. Chalobah, Ryan Cassidy with 2 goals as well. We were not very good in this. We had some chances. We actually had a lot more of the ball, but just looking at the ratings of the Watford players, when they had the ball, they did stuff with it. When we had the ball, we didn't do anything with it. A.D. Stevenson getting a 6.2. There is a reason why I'm annoyed with this player. He seems to cost us matches quite often, and we're only 5 games in. So yeah, you can see here, we played Heerenveen and Chelsea after Cardiff and Charlton for some reason. Literally 2 days. There was a 2-day gap. This is why players have been getting injured and why rotation's been taking place. Anyway, league table-wise, we are sat right at the bottom end of the table. The only thing keeping us out of the relegation zone is the fact that Bolton, Bradford and Birmingham can't seem to actually score any goals. Birmingham have a minus 15 goal difference, 13 goal difference, after just 5 games. They lost 5-0 to Brentford in the opening day of the season, 2-0 against Millwall, 3-1 against Middlesbrough, 4-1 against Bristol City, 3-2 against Derby. Hopefully we're playing them soon. We're not. We're playing them in October. So, I mentioned that this is the 2022 season and the World Cup is taking place in Qatar. We will play 8 games in October. That's a lot of games to play in 1 month. That is 2 games a week for the entire month, which is not great. Also, if you look back, it's actually 2 games a week for the majority of September as well. Also, no games take place in November and December. There is a huge break from the 29th of October through to the 26th of December. So we've got a month and a half off. In that time, I am going to try desperately to get that warm weather training camp happening. I don't know whether it's going to be possible though. As it is the first episode of a new season, we are probably going to have just the 1 game, and it is going to be up against Huddersfield, a team who were in our league last season. We did beat them once, they also beat us once, so we are fairly even. I could do with a victory. A victory early on against Huddersfield will propel us potentially back up to sort of 12th, 13th place in the table, which is where I want to be. Before we get to the Huddersfield game, a bit of transfer business has happened. Pascal has gone on loan to Wrexham for the rest of the season. I want to try and get rid of him. I don't think he's really going to get much better than what he currently is. Unfortunately, nobody wants to pay any money for him. And we have made a new signing as well. It is 21-year-old English right-winger / striker. Obviously, for us, he's probably going to be more of a striker. Timmy Abraham has signed formerly of Fulham on a free transfer. He is the brother of Tammy Abraham. He is very physical. Mentally, not so great. He's got a decent bit of flair. He might actually not be terrible as this deep-lying forward role. If he could just get better at passing, maybe that might help, because obviously the passing anticipation, that's a big one for him. Okay, but yep, Timmy has signed on a free transfer. We've got him for 2 years, so he might be junk and we might shift him on. Welcome back to the Pirelli Stadium for the first time in this season. The slightly smaller Pirelli Stadium, because if you didn't realise, we are somewhat expanding it. We're putting in an extra 3,000 seats, or a 3,000 capacity, not necessarily seats. Anyway, Huddersfield are our opponents. They are currently 15th place in the table. I would like to have a victory. We're not going to go any lower than 21st, regardless of what happens today, but an ideal scenario would be 3 points for us, because that would propel us potentially way up the table. And this early on in the game, that's kind of what you're after. The starting lineup we are going to go for then. In goal is going to be Curtis Anderson. Mitch Clark is going to be the right back today because Jason McCarthy is injured for a little bit of time. Mark Gui, Ashley Eastham and Jake Vokins will round off the back 4. Jonas David and Oliver Skipp will be the 2 deep-lying midfielders, with Joe Sparrow, Afonso Sousa, Callum Gribben and Neil Williams as the front 4. Lots of new players there. So Anderson, Eastham, David, Skipp, Sousa and Williams all new to the side this season, which I think that might be one of the reasons why we're starting a little bit slower, because if I scroll to the right slightly, I know most people are actually tactically familiar with it. It's only Skip who, hopefully, after playing a couple of games, means he'll be back up to speed along with everybody else. Huddersfield are playing some half-decent footballers. Josh Onoma, obviously a player that I know quite well from my days back as the Groningen manager, who is Beale. Bob Beale on loan from Liverpool. He's quite good at football. I'm a little bit concerned with Bobby Beale. He should be Bobby, not Bob. Who else I got? Terence Congolo's still there. Michael Keane, is he new? He is new. They've only just signed him. For a championship side to sign someone like a Michael Keane, that is a very, very good signing. There you can see on the right-hand side, well, you could see on the right-hand side, our stand that is being reconstructed. It is actually the one underneath us, so you're not actually going to be able to see it unless we see some replays from funny angles. Gribben with a free kick. Ashley Eastham is there, and Ashley Eastham has opened the scoring after just 3.5 minutes. His first ever goal for the club. Callum Gribben gets the assist. This is what I was hoping would happen, is we'd start early and we'd start quick. Hopefully we don't see an instant reply from Huddersfield. Beale with the ball to Ntep. Back to Rodriguez. Long ball upfield. Gooey heads forward though. Mitch Clark back to Gooey. Lumps it upfield. Hits one of our players but gets a second chance. Williams heads down to Gribben. Gribben's running forward. He's got Vokens on his left. Plenty of yellow shirts in the box if he can find one. Joe Sparrow is one of them. And his header is off target. And it remains 1-0. That Ashley Eastham goal has moved us up to 16th place already in the table, which is good. Hopefully, we can hold on to this lead at least until half-time. Gribben with a free kick. Sparrow's there, it's clear. John Jules heads further forward. Beale now to Conor Hurricane. Forward once again to Ntep. Plenty of Huddersfield players in the box. Crosses in. Bobby Beale is there, and Bobby Beale has made it 1-1 just before the half-hour mark. I didn't think we were going to hold on. Gribben with a corner. It has gone deep. Williams is there, and Neil Williams has his second goal of the game, and Callum Gribben is racking up assists. 2 so far in this game. We are back in front. 36 minutes. There's the stand. Look at that lovely stand there. Lovely header at the back from the Wales International. Nearly said the Swansea International. Swansea's not a country. Gribben with a free kick goes for goal. It's a great save, I think. He determined to get himself on the score sheet, I think. Rodriguez towards Beale, back to Rodriguez, Dabo, Hurricane, Beale, he's the main strike threat. Rodriguez, Ntep, Beale's managed to get into the box. Paul Georges Ntep makes it 2-2. Not a lot we could do about that. Wasn't particularly great defending, but Huddersfield are now back in the game. Half time then, it is 2-2. We've been probably the better side, but every time Huddersfield go forward, it's looking like they're going to score a goal, so maybe we need to somehow stop that. I don't know how we're going to stop it, because, you know me, I'm probably not going to actually change anything tactically. 55 minutes in, and Sousa is playing pretty badly at the moment. So badly, in fact, I'm going to bring him off. Sousa off for Shashoa. Shashoa, he's come off the bench a few times, and every time he comes off the bench, he looked quite lively, so maybe he's one of those bit part players. Great, Callum Gribben's gone and got himself injured. That is not ideal. Longstaff is going to come on. Do we rearrange these to get the best combination? Maybe Sparrow in the middle. Let's try that. Hurricane with a free kick for Huddersfield. It's saved and Bobby Beale gets the rebound. We are going to throw this lead away once again. 73 minutes on the clock. Huddersfield take the lead. Anderson really should have kept hold of that, because he just made a bit of a flap of it. Skip couldn't get there first, and Bobby Beale makes it 3-2 to Huddersfield. I don't know why they're showing me this. They scored straight away anyway, it doesn't matter. I've changed it up to positive, and I've said show some passion. Hopefully, it has fired up the team, which is good. Anderson, the goalkeeper, is furious. Don't know why. It's his kind of his fault why we 1-0 or 1-0, 3-2 down. Gooey heads forward. Longstaff's not going to get there. Anderson claims the ball. We've got 3 minutes left to play. Anderson, the goalkeeper, with the ball in his hands. What is he going to do? Throw it out? Probably. He does throw it out to Joe Sparrow. Shashua, all the way upfield, tries to find Clark, and he's not going to find him. Rodriguez, though, plays it into Congolo. Congolo, cross-field ball to Dabo. Dabo can now run forward for Huddersfield. He's got plenty of space. Vokens, though, gets in front of the pass. And now Vokens' pass is terrible. John Jules across to Ntep. Clark with a tackle, but Bobby Beale's going to get his hat-trick, and Bobby Beale does get his hat-trick. I knew he was going to be a pain for us, but Mitch Clark with the assist for Bobby Beale's third. This has not been a great game, has it? 10 seconds left to play and we are going to lose 4-2 against Huddersfield. A game where we should have probably won. We were 2-1 up and then we conceded 3 Bobby Beale goals. And Bobby Beale should be picking up the man of the match award. Yes, he does. 12 shots to their 9. 9 on target. Jake Vokins, Mitch Clark and Mark Gooey. Defensively, we are playing shockingly at the moment. We're going to get aggressive and I'm far from pleased from that result. A couple of players reacted angrily. Gribben, to be fair, you did well. Jonas David, apparently you did well, even though I didn't see your name. You're going to get an aggressive individual team talk. Your mistake cost us. He looks stressed. Whoops. Gribben is out for 4 to 7 weeks. That sucks pretty bad. We've got £10,000 from a Tyler Collins deal. Who's Tyler Collins? I don't know. He's played some games. Sure. So we are now down still in 21st place in the table, 4 defeats. And the problem we are having is if you look at the league table, we've conceded 13 goals in 6 games. That is a huge amount of goals and we've only scored 5. And of those 5, 3 of those goals came in games where we didn't actually pick up any points. The transfer window closes on the day of the Lincoln match, which is the Carabao Cup first round. So we're going to go forward to that day. I'm not expecting any more business to happen. I think all of our business is done. I'll not show you the Lincoln game. I'll show you the result of the Lincoln game. But hopefully, at the end of this episode, we are going to keep all of our players. Hopefully, we might be through to the second round of the Carabao Cup as well. It is transfer deadline day, and so far, 2 loan deals have gone through, both of them leaving the club. Tay Ashby-Hammond, the goalkeeper, has gone on loan to Stevenage for the rest of the season. And Ben Stevenson has gone on loan to Mansfield for the rest of the season. They're actually paying some of his wages as well. And apparently, they can buy him for £105,000 if they want to as well. More loan news, and Paul Morris, the youngster, has gone on loan to Crawley for the rest of the season. Apparently, they're going to play him as a ball-winner midfielder. I'm expecting it to be centrally and not that one, because that one makes no sense. We've managed to sell someone who was never going to play any more games for us. Oliver Sarkic has left and gone to QPR. We've got £140,000 from straight up cash. No clauses, no nothing like that. So yeah, Oliver Sarkic has gone, which is good. He played 4 games and couldn't hit a barn door. And that is the end of the transfer window. So we haven't actually played Lincoln yet. What I will do is I will still show you the result of the Lincoln game because it is currently the day of the match, so we may as well play it. We have been the most active, 12 players in total. We haven't spent anywhere near that much money. Once again, we're down the wrong end of this, £120,000 per week. When you look at that, £950,000 a week for Southampton. I want to quadruple our wage budget. I want to be sort of up in this region, sort of between the Sheffield Uniteds and the Bristols. That's kind of where I'm hoping to be. I think this season is going to be a real struggle because we just don't have the funds to compete at this level. And I'm very glad that we didn't get promoted to the Premier League because I imagine if we went straight up to the Premier League, we would have had about £30 million to strengthen, which isn't going to go anywhere. So the Lincoln game then in the Carabao Cup at the Pirelli Stadium. We've still sold a reasonable amount of tickets. I'm just going to play the match and I'm going to show you the result at the end of it. Hopefully we can go through against, I want to say, a League 2 Lincoln. We did manage to go through against Lincoln. It was a 3-1 victory in the end. Jonas David, Joe Sparrow and Alfonso Sousa with the goals. Sousa also has his penalty saved from Jamie Mitchell. Jamie Mitchell? It's Jay Mitchell. I'm assuming it's Jamie. It's Jonathan. It's a Jonathan Mitchell. I don't know who Jamie Mitchell is. Jamie Sewell scores a goal in the 89th minute for Lincoln, but it was too little too late. A very good performance. Hopefully we can carry on this type of performance into the league, which I think we're up against Millwall next. We are up against Millwall on TV, in fact. So, next episode, we're probably going to go maybe deep into September, because being the second season, hopefully things are going to go through fairly quickly. Hopefully it's not going to carry on the way it's currently going. If it is carrying on with lots and lots of defeats, and annoying defeats by conceding ridiculous amounts of goals, we might need to come back a little bit earlier. I'm thinking maybe Portsmouth, Brentford, maybe Nottingham Forest, somewhere around that time. Thank you very much for watching this first episode of the new season with Burton Albion in Football Manager 2019. If you did enjoy, if you wouldn't mind leaving a like, if you want to see more, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you next time for some other matches that I can't really commit to. I'm a good YouTuber, honest.